One of my favorite pies is blueberry pie, not just because of the taste, but because it's so easy. There's no slicing fruit, there's no peeling fruit, it's just blueberries. But I'm going to show you the easy way with a cheat, and the cheat is pre-made pie crust. And I even bought the generic brand this time. It's a little harder to work with than Pillsbury, but it still works. So that's my cheat. That's what makes it really fast and easy. I'm using fresh blueberries. Let's get started.
Put 5 cups of fresh blueberries in a large colander and rinse them, and then just let them drain for a while. In the oven and the middle rack, put a piece of foil and make sure it's larger than your pie plate to catch any drips. The pie plate can be either 9 inches or 10 inches in diameter. Mine is 10 inches in diameter. Then preheat the oven to 375 degrees and grab the pie plate back. Zest a lemon and then reserve a half a teaspoon of the lemon zest, and then juice the lemon and drain out the seeds and reserve 2 teaspoons of the lemon juice. In a medium-sized bowl, put sugar, flour, cinnamon, lemon zest, and a dash of salt, and then mix it up with a spoon or a whisk. Put all the blueberries in a larger bowl and then pour all the sugar mixture in there and stir it really well to coat all of the berries. Now we're ready for the pie crust. Now I'm having a little difficulty with this one for the bottom crust opening. It's already at room temperature, which it needs to be. But after I open it, I also see that there's a tear and a little piece of something that's too dry to even use. If that happens, it's no problem. But the other thing I wanted to show you is with a 10-inch pie plate, I need to expand the size of the dough. So I'm putting some flour onto the counter and the rolling pin, and I'm just rolling it out to stretch it out to be larger. So those of you who are new to baking, this is the way to transfer the pie crust to the pie plate. Roll it onto the rolling pin. You can brush off the extra flour and then put the rolling pin on top of the pie plate and roll it out. That way you won't tear it. Then press all of that down into the bottom and sides of the pie plate. You'll have some overhang. Now it's ready for the blueberries. Pour them in. And now you're going to put in that 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. And I have 1 tablespoon of cold butter that I've cut into 9 pieces. This is what's called dotting with butter. Now we're ready for the top crust. And I decided to go ahead and roll this out as well. And I noticed I have a tear on the edge, and I just want it to be nice and flat. So after I roll it out, I'm also going to put it onto the rolling pin. And yeah, if that tears, it's okay. And then transfer it to the pie plate. And I can do it without tearing the dough. Now, some overhang is good, like a 1/2 inch is good. The extra, we're going to end up trimming with kitchen shears. So now we need to pinch together the top and bottom crusts. And most of the time, you can do it as I'm showing here. Just fold it over, pull the lower crust back, and pinch it together. If it's being kind of dry, you can add some water, put it on your fingers or on a pastry brush, brush some water on, it'll be like glue. So as long as it's a 1/2 inch, I don't trim any off. But once I get to a longer part, then yeah, I'll trim it off with kitchen shears. And there's my long part. So I'm going to see how easy that is. So just eyeball it to about a 1/2 inch, and now I can finish putting the top together, and I haven't crimped it yet. I'm just at the point where I'm pinching the top and bottom crust together. Now I'm ready to crimp it. With my left hand, I'm using my index finger and thumb, and then on my right hand, I'm using my index finger and just making little V's all the way around the pie. Now I'm ready for an egg wash on top. I put an egg into a small bowl, whipped it up with a fork a little bit, and I'm going to brush it on the top with a pastry brush. And I'm going to brush the top and the edges. This will give it a nice golden brown color that's really beautiful. After that, I'm going to take a small knife and cut little slits. Now I don't cut holes, I just cut slits. And I start with a small circle, then I go to a wider circle of little slits, and then a third one. And then last, before it goes in the oven, I'm taking just a little bit of sugar and sprinkling it on top. Again, it'll give it a nice golden color. Now when you put it in the oven, put on a pie shield or pie edge. And if you don't have one of these, use foil and then bake it like that for 20 minutes with the pie edge on it. After 20 minutes, remove the pie edge cover and bake for 25 more minutes. And there it goes. After 25 minutes, it should be nice and golden brown, ready for you to take it out. Set it on a cooling rack to cool completely. I'm making blueberry pie today. It's a raw blueberry pie, and rather than make it in a pie plate that's round and has the edges that come up, I'm actually going to make it in a square pan because first of all, it's easier to make, and